A couple of weeks ago, I asked the Xsgaming podcast group page, has an exclusive ever gotten you to get a certain console? Well, I asked the question, they gave me the answer, so let's check it out. Exclusives have been around for a very long time, since the dawn of consoles it seems. If you got a Super Nintendo, you got it for Super Mario World. If you got a Sega Genesis, it was for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It was just one of those things, and it really helps you decide on which console to get. And let's not forget that not everyone is excited about exclusives. Some people were very upset to hear about the Xbox One getting the exclusive latest Tomb Raider game. But of course that turned out to be a timed exclusive, but still it helped sell units of the Xbox One because some people just possibly couldn't wait a whole year and they decided to go ahead and get it. So I asked the Xsgaming podcast group page if there were any exclusive that came out that made them want to buy a certain console, and here's some of the answers. The first one came from my friend Chris, aka BioPhoenix. He says, gotta love that cartoony pictures. For me would be Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube. There's quite a lot on PS2 because I got the PS2 pretty late. Next up is from my good friend James Gruesome, also the co-host of the audio podcast. He says, WCW Revenge pushed me to the N64, and Yakuza 3 pushed me to the PS3, and any other Sony system as long as the series stays on it and comes here. Next up is from Jason. He says Twisted Metal made me get a PS1 as well as Nintendo first party all the way up to the Wii. And next up is from Jim, aka Kid Shuriken, excellent YouTuber, good friend of mine. He says Shenmue and Jet Grind Radio made me want a Dreamcast, and oddly enough, the sequels made me want an Xbox. And right after that, Logan, he chimed in and says, Shenmue 3 is going to make me get a PS4. Tyler Good says, Super Mario 64 is the reason why I got the N64 back in the day, and the Uncharted series is the main reason why I got the PS3 and the PS4. Cannot wait for the fourth game. And the last one is going to be Altana Melendez. She says, Mario Kart 8 is what made me want to get a Wii U, and I don't regret it. I bought a 360 for Super Robot Taijin Exo, which turns out it was also a remake on the GameCube, so I could have gotten that for a lot cheaper at that time. And that's some of the answers from the Xsgaming podcast group page. And remember, guys, if you want in on the fun, be sure to join the community. I'll have a link below so you guys can click on that and join us. Very, very fun people, really, really cool people. And you know, me personally, I got a good story with exclusives. I was a very late bloomer to the PS3. Actually, I didn't get a PS3 until probably like 2011, and it was because of a little game called Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni was a level 5 game put out with Namco Bandai, but it was collaborated with Studio Ghibli. And I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan. You know, some of my favorites would be like My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke. So when I heard that there was going to be a game based off that art style with the studio and it was going to be an RPG, I had to go get a PS3, and I absolutely love the game. It has so much charm to it. It's got a really emotional story. What do you expect from a Studio Ghibli game or film? You know, and I had a lot of fun playing it, and honestly that was like the door that opened up, and then I was like, well, now I got a PS3, and I started getting more PS3 exclusives. And you know, like I said, I think exclusives are very important. I think it definitely pushes units and makes people want to buy consoles, and the thing is too is like by the time I got the PS3, because I got it so late, I got the games like super cheap. And I will say, if you guys are collecting or new to collecting, some of the best consoles to collect for right now is actually PS3, Xbox 360, PS2, and the original Xbox. GameCube has went up for some reason. GameCube's pretty expensive, but you know, it's kind of nice, you know, because I went to GameStop and found Metal Gear Solid 4, a PS3 exclusive, for only 89 cents. And you can't beat that. Pretty much GameStop was giving that away for free. So what are some exclusives that made you guys want to turn around and buy a certain console? Maybe it was a console that you weren't into. Maybe, you know, you were more of a Nintendo fan, but Castlevania Bloodlines came out for the Genesis, and it made you have to go get a Genesis. I'd love to hear from you guys. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and don't forget to check out the Xsgaming Podcast group page. I'll have that as a link below, and as always, happy gaming. Can't get enough of Xsgaming Podcast? Be sure to check out our audio podcast on podomag.com. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you have a YouTube channel or podcast you'd like to share, be sure to check us out on Facebook on our group page and join the community. As always, guys, thank you so much for all the support, and happy gaming.